Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your explosive.
Holy that scared the out of me.
4th of July photo news fix. This fix is brought to you by Squarespace, and JaredPolin.com is built using Squarespace, and I wouldn't use anything else if you're a photographer or a creative. It's simple, easy, affordable, and you don't need to know coding. To get your 14-day free trial without a credit card, head on over to squarespace.com/FroKnowsPhoto, and if you decide that it's for you, use the code FroKnowsPhoto at checkout to get 10% off your first order. First up, after this story, you'll never want to go in the ocean again.
Out of the water!
And not for the reasons you might think.
Out of the water now!
Fine, it's because fish. It's because fish pee in it.
Nice.
Photographer Dan Watson was flying his drone above his family while they were enjoying the waves, when out of nowhere, he spotted a shadow in the water. Oh my God, a shadow in the water. The first picture shows what looks to be a shark in the top left with his family in the bottom right. Though that's kind of interesting, a shark is in the ocean?
Right.
Which doesn't fit here, the shark or the family? Dan? And the second picture shows the family running for their lives while the shark turns away in disgust because all it wanted to do was find somebody to sing this song with. Baby shark do 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 do.
Baby shark do 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 do.
Baby shark do 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 do. Now angry shark.
Angry shark do 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 do. Shark do 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 do. I will eat you if you get into my water.
Did anyone else notice there are 5 people in the first image and only 4 in the second? Where's the 5th person? The 5th person. Yeah, you know, like 5th person, Dan. Do you think their name was Deb?
Who's Deb?
Barb? I meant to say Barb. Next up, if you're a Sony shooter hoping for more full-frame glass, you may be in luck. Sony Alpha Rumors is reporting, and when I say reporting, what I really mean is they're making shit up, except for the fact that this time, they might be onto something. They are saying Sigma is readying 4 new natively designed FE lenses. A 35 1.2, which sounds like an art lens in the making, a 45 2.8, which still doesn't make much sense to me, a 12 to 24 2.8, which would actually be surprising because they have a 12 to 24 f4, but maybe the 2.8 will be smaller if it's natively designed for the mirrorless body, and finally, a 24 to 70 2.8. Now, it's really becoming interesting what third-party companies are doing with the lens game right now. I love myself some native glass, but what Sigma is doing for less money is great for people who want quality on a budget. Now, there's no word on possible pricing or when they will be announced, but as soon as I know, you will know. Unless I'm under NDA, of course, because then I can't tell you until it's time to tell you. Next up, we have an interesting rumor about the fate of some of Nikon's DSLRs. Nikon Rumors has posted a list of which Nikon DSLRs are on the chopping block and which will see updates. DSLRs that might not be replaced are the D3500, D5600, and D500. Now, I know some people will be upset to hear the D500 won't be updated, but the truth of the matter is, at this point, a D500 replacement would most likely be a mirrorless version anyway. Now, if I had to guess, Nikon will focus on a cheap entry-level mirrorless camera to try and woo future photographers, thus why they are killing their lower-end DSLRs. The D7500, D750, D850, and D5 are all rumored to get DSLR replacements. Hey Nikon, don't do it!
No offense.
Don't pussyfoot around the future.
I'm sorry for cursing.
In my opinion, the pros of a mirrorless camera today far outweigh the cons, and it's time to move the needle forward. You can't fight a war on 2 fronts, and you can't make everyone happy. Now, I get it. The Z7 isn't a D850, but with some body changes, a grip, and an extra card slot, it's totally better. The D5, well, I made a whole video about why Nikon needs to make its replacement a mirrorless camera. Thoughts, comments? Let me know where you stand. And finally, in more lens rumor news, Canon Rumors is reporting that the next RF Zoom f2 lens will be a 16 to 28 millimeter. Now, this would pair perfectly with a 28 to 70 f2, and maybe one day we will see a 70 to 200 f2, which would probably weigh 10 pounds and be the size of my biceps.
Your arms are puny.
No, they're not, Dan. I work out. Now, if I had to guess, the 16 to 28 f2 would run you $2,500 and be pretty hefty, not to mention chody.
Salty.
We all know I love what Canon is doing with their RF glass, but if you're looking for something light and easy to travel with, these f2s are definitely not for you. Canon Rumors is also reporting that Canon is hard at work on a 500mm f4 RF, as well as a 300mm f2.8 RF, and expects those sometime in 2020. Now, I'm still calling Canon the sleeper in the photo world right now, but if they take any longer to bring out pro bodies, that short slumber might turn into the long sleep.
Your fault.
And there you have it. That's your photo news fix. This time around, to check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And don't play with fireworks. Jared, Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.